Welcome to a novel show, the spoiler-free internet book review show that comes with a Christmas village and an octopus skeleton. That's right, I said it. Fight me, biologists. Today, we're going to talk about something with lots of fighting, but not too many octopi, and that's Louis L'Amour's Lando. If you're like me, you probably grew up hearing the name Louis L'Amour maybe as a joke in The Simpsons, or seeing some of his books scattered all around Peddler's Mall and thrift stores, but never really read him. He's an author for previous generations. But the past about 5 years or so, I've been on a big kick of reading a lot of older, 70s, 60s, whatever, kind of science fiction, fantasy, westerns, adventure stories. And so I got into him, and luckily you can still, to this day, find his books in a lot of different peddlers' malls, and for cheap. And what's nice about Louis L'Amour books is you know what you're going to get. It's kind of a comfort food sort of book in a way, but there's always a new twist, a new wrinkle, a new, sudden deviation, the typical Louis L'Amour formula. And what is that formula? We'll talk about his characters. Lando, like so many of his characters, he's tough, he's pretty confident, he's fairly competent too, and he has to overcome obstacles, both natural, character versus nature, and also other characters out to get him, out to steal from him, out to kill him even, that sort of thing. Pretty much you can guarantee that's what's going to happen in a Louis L'Amour book. It is one of those things where you kind of know how this basic structure of the plot and conflict might go from the beginning, but getting there, the journey, is the fun part. It's just like going to see another action movie, another romantic comedy, another horror movie in those same veins. You kind of know it's going to happen, but how it happens is the important part, the interesting part. So for this too, it's just a fun, solid adventure story. One thing I did notice, talking about the writing style, it's actually, I guess it's just people from this era. He and Ian Fleming, I feel like, are kind of very similar in that they take a long time to really get the meat of the story going. And that might sound like I'm saying it's boring, and I did find that in Ian Fleming's case sometimes, because Ian Fleming's stories, they have so much talking. It's like, I don't remember James Bond sitting around talking this much. But once the action gets going, it's fine. Louis L'Amour, he still has plenty of dialogue and everything, but there is plenty of action beats, if you know what those are, the little dips of action as you're building through the rising action to the end of the story. But it's just funny though, because if you read the back of one of his books, it sounds like that's the gist of the story. But that part in the back there, it's almost like a spoiler. It doesn't even happen until the final third of the story. So, and this one, of course, you have the great cover with, I'll put a bigger picture up, the shirtless dude with his giant handlebar mustache coming to fight you. And that's the kind of person Lando is. Not necessarily great with guns, but he's great with his fists. And he's a likable character, like basically all Louis L'Amour characters. They're likable people. They are, rugged, independent. They overcome obstacles. They still struggle. None of them are perfect characters. None of them are boring in that way. But yeah, his books are fun to read. So if you like adventure stories at all, especially if you like westerns, why in the world have you not read him already? If you're somebody just looking for sort of an old throwback, more traditional style adventure story, go for him too, basically. There's none of the, what I find to be sort of obnoxious postmodernist, twists of writing that happen a lot of times today, where they have to, at every turn, subvert your expectations. And, after you subvert someone's expectations 5 times, have you really just kind of like made a, complete around the block and they're back on the same path? So anyway, totally recommend his story for themes. You can probably guess what the themes are without me even saying them. The themes are things like, the importance of basically perseverance, not giving up. And then some of the themes also would be surprisingly about kind of like karma and kindness. What goes around comes around. Characters in the story that are good, decent people, good things happen to them, and vice versa. So I would recommend this story to anybody who likes adventure stuff. And then here at the end, the book I'm kind of reading through a little bit right now is this Weaponry and Illustrated History. Beautiful, full-color pages of all kinds of different historical periods of weaponry. All, of course, I got for like $1 or $2 at Goodwill. So check this kind of stuff out. I give stuff like this a lot of times as presents to people that I know specifically will like it. This one I kept for myself, though. It just seems so neat to go through and look at that stuff, because these really are kind of works of art. As far as anything else, Decided to do this video in my classroom because I had to get back to work here pretty soon. Kids will be coming back to school soon, and so it'll be my last opportunity to kind of have the room to myself on a day like today. And yeah, so anyway, hope everybody is keeping warm and keeping safe, and that you're getting plenty of reading done. And maybe I recommended a new author for you to fall down the deepest rabbit hole possible. If you want to have an author that's prolific, there you go. I don't think you'll ever have time to read all his books. But anyway, take care everybody, and I will see you again on the next episode. So long.